Hey y'all, welcome to the Clock Tower. I'm Colton here with Brandon. 5 cards, 5 minutes is back. Bunny Girl Set 2 Rares and Double Rares. Brandon, what's our first card?
First up, we have this My level 1. During your turn, it gets additional 1,000 power, so it sits at 5/5 prior to climax. On attack, if you have 2 or more other characters, mill 3 cards from the top deck to Waiting Room, and then you get to salvage a character based on the number of characters that you milled. So if you mill 2 characters, you can salvage up to a level 2, or if you mill 3 climaxes, you're salvaging a level 0. This card does get an additional level until end of turn, and is paired with the choice climax.
Yeah, this is solid. It feels like a slightly upgraded version of cigarettes. It has a little bit more mill on it, and it is also more selective than cigarettes. You don't have to mill 3. You can mill up to 3. So if you're in a situation where you don't want to mill another 3 cards, you can mill 1 and just salvage, a 1 or a 0 and, feel good about it. It's also bomb-proof. We're probably going to see this a lot in the new Bunny Girl set. Next, we have My Reunion After a Long Time. It's a 1/1, 4,000 power. It's basically Yoshino from Dal, but with a very significant restriction. At the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay the cost, which is 1. If you do, stand and swap this with a character named Sakuta. Then, when this card becomes reversed, it is a Stakadachi. You need to have Sakuta's on board in order to swap this into that spot. It's not just a free stand and swap the way that Yoshino was, where it could go anywhere it wanted. The big one for this one's going to be a level 1 Sakuta that has an ability where when it is attacked, you pay 2 and swap that card with this card from your hand. So it essentially becomes like a stock bomb counter for 2 in a weird way that doesn't cost you hand. It's interesting. I don't know if it's actually good. There may be ways to make it work, but I think ultimately that restriction might be a little bit too much.
Next, we have the 2/1 Futaba. When this card attacks, you get power equal to the number of other characters, so plus potentially 4k power for the full field. When this gets a reverse, if you have the book in your climax zone, you can get an additional 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. And look at 4, choose 1 twice. So you're potentially going +2 into hand off of this combo after getting the reverse.
2/1 combos are always a little bit weird because their timings aren't great. This essentially trades 1 stock for 2 cards because it does get nice and big. It's going to get reverses somewhere, right? Because it swings at 12 as long as you have a full board. If this were on Pants, I would feel much better about it. I don't think this solves the problems that 2/1 combos inherently have if they don't also come down early. Next, Naruka Toyohama, Christmas Present. On play, look at 3, add 1. Climax combo, combos with choice. On CX play, pay 1, pitch 1 to give this and one other thing, essentially the Musashi cancel burn, where when damage is canceled, you mill 1, deal X equal to that level of that card plus 1. So it can turn anything into a Musashi and itself, which also means that on CX play, it's pay 2, pitch 2 to make everything a Musashi, which is pretty good. I don't know if this has like the high damage output threshold to really get there and be a true closing combo, but cancel burn is always good.
I think it's really interesting because especially if you tri-field this, you could potentially have 3 double Musashis. Your damage is going to be pretty likely to stick. The other climax combo we have at 3 is our 3/2 here in blue. On play heal, you do need experience 6. It is a pay 2 effect. On attack, look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck, filter out any climaxes into Waiting Room, put the rest back on deck, and then the card gets an additional 2,500 power. So with the climax itself on Pants, you're sitting at 13/5. It's a pay 2 to look through 3 cards of your opponent's deck to potentially be sticking 3 damage with the swing, not including any triggers.
Mocha combos are good. This can fix damage on top of the deck, clear out CXs in the top 3 cards. If the top 3 cards are clean, you're swinging clean. The thing that's difficult with this combo is if damage cancels at any point, you're kind of screwed. It's hard to close from 3-0. So that does make it a little bit more complex. It doesn't have like the exact damage that it needs. But a 3-card Mocha is objectively quite powerful. So unless your opponent is super compressed, you're going to close a lot of games with this. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back on Tuesday. Brandon will have a deck tech. We'll have gameplay for that in a week. The following Tuesday, Clock Talk. And 2 weeks from now, more 5 cards, 5 minutes. We will wrap up Bunny Girl 2. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And have a good one.
We'll see you then.